All right, welcome back. Today we're going to cover day 2 of section 10.5 with parabolas. And today we are going to discuss what happens when the vertex is not at 0, 0. So in general terms, we just say vertex at hk. But really what that means is the vertex can be at any point other than the origin. So we're going to identify those critical points that we've been working on. It's going to be our directrix, our focus, vertex, so forth. And then we'll apply that to a couple word problems here when we're done. Okay, as far as translating or moving parabolas left to right, up or down, same as we've been doing all year long. So if you think about how we add something left to right or move it up or down, that's going to be our values that we apply to h and k. So if we change the h value, that'll move it left to right. If we change the k value, that'll move it up or down. This slide will be very similar to what you saw the other day. Probably looks very similar. Same equation you saw. Really, we're going to focus right here. The only difference, instead of being 0, 0, now you see h and k here, where the other day it said x squared equals 4py. This part doesn't change. Okay, if you have x squared, it's going to open up or down. That's dependent on whether or not this value right here is negative. So if you have a negative number in front of the y minus k, it's going to open down. If you have a positive number in front of that, it is going to open up. Your focus value here is going to be h, so whatever the value is at the vertex, it's also going to be the same as the focus, and it's going to be moved up p units. So if our vertex here was 3, 2, and the p value was 5, then this value here would be 3, 7. You would go up p units from the vertex, and the directrix would be that same amount down here. So when you see this k plus p, k minus p, we know how to follow that. We know how to solve for that. That's that 4p equal this number, and that's the distance the focus is above the vertex and the directrix is below. Our axis of symmetry still goes through the x corner of the vertex. So in this case, it's going to be x equals h. That's the line that's going to split this into two equal pieces. Our focal length is still p. Focal width is still 4p. We'll see on the next slide what happens when you have y squared. Now with y squared, it's going to open left or right. Again, the focus is right here on the value of this number. If this is positive, it's going to open to the right. If this number right here is negative, it's going to open to the left. Now we add and subtract that p value to the h value of the vertex. So again, if our vertex here, let's just say was at 1, 4, and p was at 3, then this would be at 4, 4, and this would be at negative 2. So it would be the same distance in either direction. Now our axis of symmetry goes through this value this way, so y equals k. And again, focal length, focal width have not changed, p and 4p. So now we'll take a look at a couple examples here for how we can graph and set up equations. And again, the only difference is the vertex now is not at 0, 0. So find the standard form of the equation. The parabola has a vertex at 3, 4, a focus at 5, 4. Okay, they've given us everything we need right here to get rolling. So we know h and k. We know the focus is at 5, 4. I just drew a rough sketch over here. The focus is to the right of the vertex, so this is going to open to the right. And from the vertex right here, 3, 4, from 3, 4 to 5, 4, that's a distance of 2. So we know that our p value is 2. And now that we have that, we can go ahead and plug everything in. We need h and k, so we plug that in. H is 3, k was 4. And if p is 2, we know that 4 times 2 is 8. And again, that's positive because we are opening to the right. You didn't have to graph this. You didn't have to identify the directrix or any of that. But I think it does help to draw a rough sketch to make sure that you have the correct equation. All right, again, standard form of the equation for the parabola. We got a focus at 1, 5. So our focus is right here at 1, 5. We got a directrix at x equals 9. Now we know from the other day that the vertex is halfway between the directrix and the focus. So if this is at 1, 5, and if you put a point right there, that would technically be at 9, 5. So halfway in between there would be 5, 5. So that's how I know my vertex was at 5, 5. It's halfway between the focus and this directrix line. So from 1 to 9 is a distance of 8. Therefore, our p-value is 4. In our equation, if p is 4, this one opens to the left, so 4p has to be negative, so negative 16. Again, we know that because a parabola always opens towards the focus, and if we have one that's opening left or down, it's going to be negative. So again, we got y squared, so we have h and k. K is going to go right here, h is going to go there, and here's 4p. So again, your burden of proof was just to write the equation, but I do think drawing a rough sketch, and you certainly didn't have to make it this detailed. You could just put the focus, the vertex, directrix. You don't even need the x and y axis. I just try to provide a little more detail for you guys with your notes to try to make it a little easier. All right, using the calculator to graph. I'm going to show you how to go through this one. You can see the graph to the right, and that's fine. I'm going to explain and kind of walk through the steps of how we did that. First of all, if you're going to graph any equation, linear, quadratic, third power, or otherwise, on a rectangular coordinate plane, we have to solve for y. So this equation would be no different. So you'll see here, I just took the same equation that we had here. I'm going to try to solve this for y. So I took the square root of both sides. Now again, to solve to get y by itself, I have to subtract 2. And I get to this point right here. Now the problem is, when you take a square root, you get a positive root and a negative root. And there's no way to indicate this with just one equation on your calculator. So when you type in your calculator, you actually have to do both roots, the positive square root and the negative. So I would have to type the equation into y1 and to y2. When you do that, if you enter these two equations in, you'll get both halves of this. And I just labeled a couple points on the graph to the right, and I'll just show you those quickly. So we know our vertex is at 5, -2. So you can see my vertex there is 5, -2. I got that right from this graph. I know that p is 2. So since this is positive, it's going to open to the right. So my focus is 2 units to the right at 7, -2. And my directrix is 2 units to the left at x equals 3. So as long as I got the vertex and the focus and I know which way it opens, we're in pretty good shape there. And if you remember the focal width, the line across the parabola through the focus, has a length of 4p. So from here to here is 2 times p, or 4. So 4 units up, 4 units down. So that's how I found those 2 points. Again, you could have graphed this on your calculator and get those values, but we could also graph it by hand on the coordinate plane, get the same answer. But if you use your calculator, again, just a reminder, you have to have both roots, the positive and the negative. Otherwise, you're only going to get one side of that parabola. If it's x squared, doesn't matter, because that's going to open up or down, and it's already solved for y. All right, proving that this particular graph was a parabola, then we want to find the vertex, focus, and directrix. As I go through the steps, you'll see the answer to the right with vertex, focus, and directrix, but really that's secondary to getting there. What we're going to do with this equation is we are going to get the y's on one side and the x term and constant on the other. So you can see I got whatever the square term is. If it's y squared, get the y's on one side. If it's x squared, get the x squared and x on one side. The constant, everything else goes to the other. So you can see that right here. Then to start this, we are going to complete the square. So I'll just kind of pick it up there next. So half of 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So hopefully you can see that right there. This now becomes y plus 1 squared. The right side is 8x minus 24. At this point, we're almost done. The last thing to do is just to take a common factor out here. So if I factor 8 out, I get, excuse me, I get 8 times x minus 3. And now this equation is in standard form of a parabola. Because 4p is positive, I know that this one opens right. And we know 4p is equal to 8. Therefore, p is equal to 2. And now I can get all of the items that I need. First off, the vertex. The vertex is going to be at 3, -1. And then I can get my focus. That's going to be 2 units to the right. So that's 5, -1. And my directrix will be 2 units to the left of that at x equals +1. So again, when you're doing this, you're going to have to complete the square, much like we did with the circle problems the other day. The good news is you only got to complete the square on one side, not both, when you're dealing with a parabola. All right, reflective properties of a parabola. This just means that if you were to shine light on it, basically is what this is showing. It's going to reflect back to the middle, kind of towards a focal point, if you will. If you think like a magnifying glass, as that sunlight comes in on the magnifying glass, you can focus that beam into a small focus. This is the same idea that is applied to headlamps on a car or truck. So you have that beam of light that flashes off this mirror here, and it's off this parabola-looking mirror to focus that light beam. So that's all that's saying. Nothing we got to focus on too greatly there. So that'll lead us to 2 word problems here, and we'll be done for the day. So we got a satellite dish that has a diameter of 5. So if you think about a satellite dish, it's got a depth to it. It's not just flat. If you were to lay it on the ground, you would see that it would hold water if it was laying flat. So it has a diameter here of 5 feet. So this is definitely larger than your DirecTV dish on your house. Has a depth of 2 feet. So from the side here down to here, this point, that'd be 2 feet deep. And we're going to point it towards the satellite, obviously, to get a signal. And it says, how far should the receiving antenna be? So basically, they're asking us, where is the focus of this? So this is x squared. It's opening up, so we know it's positive. So we know 4p is positive. What we don't have here is the focal point. We have a vertex, and we got a point on the parabola. So really, I got hk, and this is going to be my x and y. So you can see I plugged this point in for x and y, and this will allow me to solve for p. So 2.5 squared, 6.25. Here I'm going to get 8p minus 0. That allows me to solve for p, and so what we figure out is that aiming point should be 0.78125 feet above the vertex of the satellite dish. All right, one last word problem to go, and then we'll be done for today. This one's a little more enveloped here. So a parabolic arch, that's what you see at many overpasses and bridges. What they're talking about is this right here. So you see this parabolic opening for your bridge or overpass. They tell us that it's 60 foot wide. So let's talk about the opening right here, 60 foot wide. It's got a 15-foot road on it. So they didn't directly tell us this, but if you think about this, or the road's 30 feet wide, it's going to be 15 feet per lane. So if you think about this, 15 feet and 15 feet for 30, 15 feet and 15 feet for 30, which gives us our 60. So really, this is our focal width. That's 4p. And so if I set 4p equal to 60, I can figure out that that's 15. This opens down, however, so we know it's going to be negative 15. I know I'm dealing with x squared. I purposely put the middle of the road at 0, 0. That means that this h coordinate of the vertex is also going to be at 0. What I don't know is its height, and that's what they want. They want the max clearance. They did give us one other detail, and that was at the side, or the minimum clearance is 16 feet. So at the edge of the road here, the clearance is 16 feet. So now I can plug all my values in. I've got a point 15, 16 on the parabola. I know that the p value is negative 15. And so I can plug this in and solve. And I'm solving for k. And when I do that, I find out that k is 19.75 feet. That's the maximum clearance, or this point right up top here. So again, how did I do that? 4p equal to 60. That gave me my p value. I have a point on the parabola, and that allows me to solve for my unknown k. I'm up against the time limit here with the video lesson, so that'll wrap it up for today. Thanks.